Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Mer, also known as Mer Does. I'm called that because I kind of do all the things. My brain is very sporadic and so is my creations. Mostly on here you'll see me painting, anywhere from like oil painting, gouache, watercolor, and most recently like on plein air painting. But today is going to be a video on my most recently finished sketchbook. This is one of those Royal Talent art creation sketchbooks. Super affordable sketchbooks, and I love the paper for multimedia use. I had a lot of fun in this. It's a really fun size too. It's kind of like when you sit down, it's a little bit low pressure because you're not creating like some huge artwork or have a huge page that you need to fill up. But yeah, I'm excited to take you on a little adventure looking at my sketchbook. I did post a video called Finishing My Sketchbook in 7 Days, where I finished the last 64 pages of this sketchbook. But I have yet to share the rest of it. So I have like 2/3 that no one's ever seen. Lots of pages to go over. But I had a lot of growth in the sketchbook. I'm really proud of it. It's mostly work where I like tried hard. It's not too scribbly or anything. It's actually a lot of like almost like finished artwork, but in a sketchbook. So I'm really happy to show it to you guys. So I'm gonna put you so you can see top down a nice little view of the sketchbook, and yeah, let's get to it. All right, here it is. Let's dive in. So I just want to start by letting everyone know this sticker here is by a creator called Little Tiny Egg. I love her art and I just love this sticker so much. I'm still not tired of it after looking at it for about a year now. All right, so let's get to the first page. All right. So on this first page, I wanted to start with something that, I'd be proud of. So I used the Caran d'Ache Neo Colored 2 wax pastels here. And then I've learned, obviously through the sketchbook, that these pastels transfer over. So I actually recently got a fixative. So after I do this sketchbook tour with you guys, I'm going to spray all the Neo color pages so that hopefully from here on out it can stay nice. Oh yeah, I meant to say, I think I started this sketchbook in 2024, like in June, I believe. And then I finished it last month in May of 2025. So it's about a year of art here. A lot of progress made throughout this thing. It's just simple color pencil sketch of an iris, I believe. I was obsessed with these. Outside of my spin class, these were blooming last year, like in late spring. And every time I walked by them, I took more pictures so I can keep drawing it. There's a lot of iterations of this flower throughout all of my sketchbooks. All right, just simple line drawing. I think this is when I first got my, like these mechanical color pencils. So it's like the first time I was testing them out. I love these things. They're great for sketching. All right. This page here I can tell is inspired by Sophie McPike. Just like when you want to make art but you don't know what you want to make or you don't want to think too hard, it's nice just doing like little pattern work like this. And Neo colors go on like butter. It feels like satisfying to cover a page with those. And then here looks like, I think those like highlighter I put in the background of just a simple like, pen and ink line drawing. That same iris flower. Obsessed. This here is the Posca markers. I slowly, throughout my last sketchbooks and then this one, got more and more Posca markers. So you'll kind of see them pop up here and there. This is another pen and ink of a bird, and this was like a moon in the background. I was actually pretty proud of him. I tried to sketch the bird without doing like a pencil drawing first, just go straight in with pen. That's something I try to do a lot throughout this, I think. Just kind of let go and just let whatever happens happen. Oh, okay. Tell you already, I hate this page. It's my least favorite one in this whole sketchbook. But it is what it is. I did like a watercolor painting for my dad of like a sailboat because he's always loved like paintings of sailboats. And I just like did this as like a warm up, and ugh. I thought about putting like a post-it over it, but it's like whatever. It's part of the journey. Ugly art happens. All right, and these are the Neo colors again. Okay, line drawing with highlighter. I believe I've been doing these on the opposite side of Neo colors because I noticed it was transferring, and so just put like plain art next to like the super vibrant stuff. But yeah, this is like Neo colors with the highlighter background. I really like how this one came out. I really like this blueberry right here. Those mechanical color pencils. It's probably hard to see. It's like a swan. I do like that sketch, but it did get pretty messed up with these Neo colors over here. And then just various stickers from like a sticker book that I have. There's a fish over here with the same mechanical color pencils. Little bird, like a heron. With the Neo color background. An okay line drawing. And then here I did gouache in the background, and then I did, I believe, Neo colors on top, just to see like what would happen or how much Neo colors are able to like cover over top of gouache like that. It's kind of cool. Posca markers, just a whatever sketch. And here is like a skull. I like how that one came out. The same mechanical color pencils there. Skulls are like another go-to for me of like, I don't know what to draw, and it's just, skulls are pretty straightforward because once you've done enough, they're all just kind of the same. And here, it's either gouache or watercolor. I think it's with my gouache palette. I think I recently made my gouache palette around the time I was starting this sketchbook. But yeah, I like how this one came out. Neo colors on top of gouache again. Gouache or watercolor, I'm not sure. Probably gouache. And I actually did a larger oil painting based off of this sketch that I did here. I only used this sketch as a reference for the oil painting that I did. I could try to insert like a little video here of when I did that. But that was fun. These are some tomatoes with like a pre-blobinated, as Sophie McPike would say, background, and then see some tomatoes on top. Okay, it's another drawing where I just went straight in with color pencil and just tried to be like confident with my lines and just work on proportions and all that. Just staying loose. Second least favorite page in the sketchbook. Where not using pencil first kind of didn't go well. That's okay. And then we're using the reference of my friend's cat. Gouache background, Neo color on top again. Some funky tomatoes. Almost like I had a tomato phase here in the beginning. All right, I think I just did like a really loose landscape with the Neo colors here. It's cute. All right. Then Neo color flowers. I think I was just kind of wanting to draw, but didn't want to try hard. So these are kind of like simple, quick, no pressure type things, which that's what a sketchbook is for, right? All right. Then colored pencils here. It looks like I did a Neo color border around it. Then this here was when I got my Hemi gouache set. This was my first like trial with those. I don't know, after using like nice gouache, it was kind of hard to use the Hemi gouache sets. Like it just didn't give you the same satisfaction as like real good quality gouache. I bought like the 112 color set because it was like Prime Day last year, had a really good deal. But yeah, just honestly, they've kind of gone to waste. Haven't used them that much. Okay, so this is where I started a little like month-long challenge that another artist hosted. I can't remember which artist it was, but I'll look it up and I will post the name here. But there was a prompt every day. And I think it might have been like every other day. It was like 15 prompts over a month. And I'll try to remember what they were as we see them. This one is watermelon. So I just found a picture of a girl eating a watermelon. I think I kept messing up her eyes, so I said screw it and just erased them. But the rest of it's not bad. It's all right. Sunflower, I think, was the prompt for this one. This is like watercolor with graphite pastel pencil that I have. It's really fun. The pastel is like water soluble. So I think I like did the lines and then blended them a little bit. That's cute. Bee maybe was the prompt. I don't know why else I would do a bee. It's all right. I think that's Posca with some like brush pen on top. I remember doing it and just kept like struggling with it. And I was like, whatever. It is what it is. It's not the worst. It's not the best. The prompt for this one was cocktail. I kind of like how this one came out. I think I started by just doing a wash of pink over the back and then just try to like subtly like outline the glass so that it looked like it was clear. Never really did anything like that before, so I was kind of happy with how it came out. It was fun. Okay, these are two mini oil paintings that I did. Also prompt from that same challenge. Maybe like seashell or something was the prompt for that, and I picked oyster, but honestly I don't remember what the prompt was. But I love how that oyster came out. I recreated a gouache oyster in the end of the sketchbook. And yeah, it's real pretty. I like the colors that are in them. The prompt here was sunset, so I think I kind of cheated and did something really easy. But it looks cool. Not mad about it. I'm still not sure like how oil paintings together would do over time in a sketchbook, so I just keep this here, but I don't know if it's like actually necessary. Bubbles was the prompt for this one. And I used those mechanical color pencils, I think, here. And then it was kind of boring, so I just splashed gouache. You know, when you take a brush and you just like tap it all over. It was fun. I like this page, it's fun, colorful. Okay, and then the prompt for this one was long shadow, which I think at first, like, it's a weird drawing, but then when you hear the prompt, you're like, okay, makes sense. So the light's like hitting the cup this way. And then carnival food was the prompt over here. And this was when I got my first Lamy Safari fountain pen. And I was practicing with it, all these different foods. It's a fun little page. Doesn't make you want to eat. Umbrella was the prompt here. It's not very summery, but that's just kind of the vibe that I was going for. This was another Lamy Safari fountain pen. I just love how water soluble the ink is. Like, I have so much fun with the sketch and then like blending it all out. It's my favorite way to use those fountain pens. Here, alcohol markers, and the prompt was popsicle, if you can't tell. It was fun. This was also, look, last year I went through a big phase of spending a lot of money on art supplies, but I just have been obsessed with making art ever since. Like, last year it turned me into a multimedia artist, and this was kind of like one of my first things I did with alcohol markers. So you'll see a lot of different mediums in the sketchbook because it was like my evolution of being a multimedia artist throughout the past year. I love this one. It's Campfire was the prompt. And this is done in gouache. I tried to do a picture where it, like, you know, covered the page because the alcohol markers, you can see it through the back of the last page. But yeah, I put this on like really thick. I don't know if it's like, you can tell. But it's actually kept. It hasn't like cracked too much or anything. Yeah, really fun. I like it. This one's kind of whatever. It was sunglasses was the prompt. And I think I just kept struggling with it. I did so many layers on this one. I mean, it's like, it's fun, it's pop arty, but it's not like my favorite thing ever. Proportions are just kind of weird. I think this was the last one of the prompt. It was like spade and bucket, which I learned is like the shovel that you use like when playing in the sand. Spade and bucket. This was from a reference photo of my nephew playing at the beach, actually. It's not, the likeness isn't great, but I don't like hate the drawing. And then this was me trying to do, this was not part of the prompt, but I was trying to do a, I don't know, picture of a person without picking my pen up. So like most of it is like, I forget what you call that. I don't know. But I try not to pick my pen up while doing it. So it's kind of like free and loose, and it's kind of cool. It's all right. It's not great. Posca with colored pencils, I think. Just a whatever page. Wanting to do art, but not doing anything too serious. And then over here is a self-portrait of a photo of myself. It's not bad, but self-portraits are like so hard for me. I had shorter hair a year ago. This was that same like graphite pastel that is water soluble. I love that thing. It's so much fun. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I feel like it came out pretty cool, like very loose. It's obviously like more structured type portrait with the Lamy Safari in the blue parts. Portions are kind of weird, but that's all right. The lobster. Oh my gosh, I love this lobster. I had a lot of fun with it. This was like when I was still like getting used to using gouache and like learning how to layer the paint and just keep it like loose so you can see like the brush strokes. Like I love when artists like keep their brush strokes and not like overblend. And so that's what I was trying to like work on with this lobster here. At first I didn't have like the background, it was just white, and I still am unsure if I like that I added this purple background, but I don't hate it. I still like the painting. Here I did this portrait with like the leftover red gouache that was on my palette. I had like a bunch left, so I was like, let's do a little kind of almost like monotone portrait. I really like how this one came out. I really need to start practicing portraits again. Like that used to be like my thing, and I've just been so sidetracked doing like everything but portraits. Okay, wait, I take it back. This was like my least favorite thing in the sketchbook. I hate this so much. I'm not trying to hate on myself, but I mean, she's like cross-eyed. It's one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna go straight with pen and not do a graphite sketch first. And gosh, it's all right. Bad art's okay. It's allowed. I just hate it. The Lamy Safari pen with some little fish guys. I just like this guy at the bottom here. He's so goofy. Yeah, like this one's like whatever, but I like how those guys came out. String is bothering me. It's like a olive branch. It's kind of cool. It's like nice and simple. I think I used just like watercolor, then I went over on top with colored pencils. And then here starts the egg obsession. Hold on, let me show you something real quick. All right, so the egg obsession all started with this tiny oil painting that I did. I had so much fun with it, and so I kind of just went crazy with the egg reference. So here I did the egg in alcohol markers. It's kind of cool, but you know, I'm still learning how to use the alcohol markers, which aren't great on this paper. That's probably the one medium that's like the least fun to use with these art creation sketchbooks. Everything else goes on real great. Anyways, on the next page, I was like, well, the alcohol marker went through, so maybe I'll just like paint like the shape, because you could see the shape through the page. So kind of copied the shape with gouache here, and then did the same little egg reference. I was like, well, while I'm on the roll of doing all these different mediums, I came in and did an egg with Posca markers. And it's just funny how like you have to approach the same subject so many different ways depending on like what you're using to make it. Of course, I think the gouache is my favorite one out of the three. Yeah. So there's all my eggs. And now the chickens. I believe this reference is from a photo from Wanda Comrie. She's an artist that I follow on Instagram, and she has like a pet chicken. And it has so much personality. I just love the photo she posts of her chicken. And so you'll see him or her pop up here and there. I think I just did these like while sitting on the couch, but it was fun. I just love this Lamy Safari pen. Little fish. It's funny to see how the different references that I go through. I feel like I go through like phases. This is like a brush pen with highlighter in the background. It's another instance where I was trying to just go straight in with the brush pen and not like sketch first. It mostly came out okay. Ooh, I love this page. This is where I started getting more comfortable with like gouache paints, I think. Over here is like a reference I saw on Pinterest of a grapefruit, I think. And then over here was, I did a pink background with the acrylic gouache that I have, and then Hemi gouache on top. The Hemi gouache, I mean, I like how this came out. You know, it's simple and bold, but gosh, the paint is so dry in comparison to like the smooth butteriness of like good quality gouache. Like you can almost like tell, like that looks like butter. And then this looks kind of like dry and chalky almost. But nonetheless, I do like the whole spread. It's cool. Here I remember doing a video of this flower where I just kind of started with Tombow markers on the back, just like loosely kind of drawing in where like the petals and the leaves are, and then I went in and just did like a quick like ballpoint pen like outline around them. It was a fun video. People tended to like that one for some reason. It was also fun to do, and so I kind of just did the same idea over here with Tombow markers first, and the line drawing on top, but I think the original is still the best one. maybe this is Tombow markers. I'm not sure. Maybe. It's just another little pattern page. And then here is a drawing of all my sketchbooks on my desk with my mug with my mechanical colored pencils and a book and a keyboard. Oh, can you hear that? My cat's food. Auto food feeder is going off. And another drawing of things on my desk. I'm not really, I'm not good with like, what do you call it, proportions and perspective when it comes from like drawing from life. So I was just kind of practicing, just going straight in with the pen and not taking it too seriously. It's kind of like wonky looking, but I like it. It has like personality. It's a yarn bowl with a crochet project with the hook. Second or third least favorite spread and page. It's so stupid. I hate it. But this is the Tombow markers with like some pen on top. Nothing really to say about this. Just pretend like you never saw it. Just some more, looks like Tombow markers with pen on top. I remember liking these. I have a journal that I also keep to, keep track of my daily stuff, and I like write lists for the week on it. But I remember doing like my month page with like these flowers on it. They're cute. I drew these in preparation for a kind of a large oil painting commission that I did for somebody. It was kind of like going over like the idea of like a still life, with like objects in it, or what kind of flowers I was going to put in it. She gave me flowers of like her parents' birth month flowers, and I was just trying them out in different ways. This ended up being part of it. I did like a really long, like narrow canvas of like a vase with the different flowers in it. I can try to post a picture of it here so it makes sense what I'm talking about. But I did a few iterations of these flowers. I really like them. They're like a blue purple flower. They're real pretty. Just some more practicing of flowers, and no pencil first, just loosey-goosey pen stuff. Oh, this is boring. This was at Christmas. I got some new supplies. I think this is like my fine point Lamy Safari that I've just quickly testing out on the page. Oh, this is me keeping track of what oil colors I used in a painting. Just some practicing with the new Lamy Safari pen. Some Posca with tiny little like ballpoint pen flowers. I think there was like a little bit of a hiatus here, like maybe 2 months where I didn't use Sketchbook and I didn't really do any art because I was like obsessing over my knitting projects. So I just think I was coming back to it here, and I was like, just put something on the paper. So that was born. Chicken guys. You can see something I did back there leak through. Maybe we'll find out what it is here in a sec. Lamy Safari, pen and ink, I guess, where I just like purposely smeared it to see what kind of effect it would give. Like gouache in the background, I think. Oh, this is what leaked through. I remember now. It was like acrylic ink. Well, it was like a paint marker that I filled with like red acrylic ink just to try it out. I think I got it like at a sale section at a Blick. I never used like acrylic ink before, but I ended up doing like a bigger painting, like oil painting of this scene. I don't know if you could tell, it's like pomegranates on like a cloth. And I actually sketched on the canvas with this first. And again, I'll show a picture of that painting here for reference. And then here is another chicken guy, like kind of pop arty looking, like in color. Just playing around. Here's those same like pomegranates on the cloth, but I did it like in mostly all vertical pencil strokes just because, I don't know, it sounded like a good idea. There's some value studies. Nothing too crazy. I was just practicing doing values. I think I kind of started getting to the idea of doing like more landscapey stuff, and it's kind of hard for me to tell like the value differences sometimes, and so I was just trying to get the hang of it here. These Tombow markers. And I think I just got lazy and never did anything over here because those bled through so much. Actually, I don't think those are Tombows. I think those are my Copic markers. I have like a set of gray Copic markers, the alcohol markers. That's why they bled through so much. Just a loosey-goosey, like willow tree. I think that was done in gouache. Kind of pretty. This is just like Payne's Gray watercolor, I think. Just wanted to do like a really loose still life type thing. This is the water-soluble graphite pastel, I believe. I don't know, this is one I bought. I bought this at one of my trips to Blick, and it's a graphite pencil, but it's a very dark wash and it's water soluble. There's something about using mediums that are like, you know, you sketch with, but then you can blend them out with water, like the Lamy Safari or these water soluble graphites. It's not the best portrait, but it's all right. Something else leaked through. Oh, I remember loving this one. So what I use in the back here is like India ink in like a sort of like magenta color. And then I went on top of that with gouache. Little like red onion. Now we're gonna start getting into, well, we're close to getting into where I started my finishing my sketchbook in 7 days challenge. This was just something I did to warm up, I think. Some acrylic gouache. I also did a journal page where it had these kind of flowers, and I just used the rest of the paint in the sketchbook here. If you remember that same flower that I obsess over. The iris, wild iris, something like that. It's like the mechanical color pencils. And then this is like a landscape. I was at Big Bear Lake here in California, and I did like actually did a plein air video, my first solo plein air adventure video. I did a painting of this, and then I wanted to come home and do like more of a drawing of the same scene. I like how it came out. Okay, now this is where the finishing my sketchbook in 7 days challenge started. This was the first spread I did in gouache, but I had done the India ink wash in the back before starting, so it has kind of like a pink glow to it. But that's the same scene as this, just like in a horizontal format. I really like how like this little plant came out. It was fun. All right, India ink wash in like a blue color with a gouache bird on top, like an egret or heron of some kind. But yeah, I really like that one. It was also fun to do. It's another one where this wasn't like my favorite. It was like a statue of a woman's face, and I was trying to do it with gouache, and I was struggling a little bit. But I was like, whatever, it is what it is. It's in there forever now. And then here we have a pair I did with mechanical color pencils. I really liked how this one came out, and it kind of started a little pear obsession for me that you'll kind of see in the next few or so pages here. Big surprise, another egg, but this time in my Holbein color pencils. I remember I did this at like 5 o'clock in the morning before work one day. I was like in deep 7-day challenge mode, and I was like, I need to do one before work. But yeah, I like how the yolk came out. And here's a landscape done with watercolor, I believe. This is when I first started using like my nicer watercolors, and man, it makes such a difference. Like how like vibrant these colors are. It's Daniel Smith watercolors, I think, for the most part. And then this is a portrait of like some picture on Pinterest. It's okay. I didn't love it. It's another thing where I just went in with pen. Like didn't sketch first. So she had like, her face is like too long and it bothers me. Okay, I like this spread. This one here was Lamy Safari pen on top, and then I did like gouache around it. It's like a nice loose, low pressure kind of painting. And then the same night I did this God, what is that called? Is that an iris? Forgetting. But yeah, this was I went in with watercolor, and then I did the little like ink around the edges there just to define it a bit better. I like how that one came out though. This spread I did after work. I was like so tired, so I just did like a copy of this picture but with neocolors, and then just neocolor patterning because I was exhausted. My brain could not function. I need to put that fixative that I have on these pages. Okay, and then I prepped this page with gouache and went on top with the ink, do a little lighthouse. Then I just did the same reference here, but with gouache. It's like, it's not perfect as far as like proportions, but it's cute. I like it. I like the comparison between the two. This is a still life that kind of failed. And this is where like this paper is not meant for multiple layers of like wet media. So I was trying to do like, I think gouache and watercolor and trying to do like a third layer of like blending, and it wasn't working out. But it's all right for what it is. A little chicken guy. Maybe we're just going in with like the colors first. Just kind of being really loose. And then I went in with the brush pen after to like define. So if he's a little wonky, it's because I was doing like reverse drawing where you paint first and then kind of draw on after. He's all right. Serious. This page was a lot of fun. This was gouache. The flower I did in gouache. I'm trying to see, did I do pencil? No, I think I just went in with like a, not that one. This, like high-tech C, like super fine pen. I love these things. But I just went in and just drew it and went over it with gouache and then just splattered all over it. Just got it a little messy. But I like it. It was fun. It's a landscape of a lake I went to a couple months ago in old like Tombow markers. I don't like love how it came out, but it's all right. It's whatever. And I just did a flower up here because it looked empty. I think this was like a warm-up page when I started like getting into my sketchbook and like didn't really know what to draw on. I just needed to like warm up before really getting into the sketchbook. But I did like gouache all in the back and then just a bunch of pen ink or brush pen flowers. This page is kind of cool. I did it in alcohol markers, so you can see it's showing through on the back here, but it's all right because this was kind of like a whatever drawing. But I thought it was a cool picture, and I'm not mad about how it came out considering like this paper doesn't take well to the, like multiple layers of marker. It was fun. And then here, I saw this picture of like, you know, flowers in front of a window, and I was like, you know what? Since like this alcohol marker is showing through, I'll just use it like it's like part of a landscape. I was like proud of myself for that. This is all done in gouache. And then I just did like kind of the same reference over here, but just like, I don't know, the outline of the image. I think that was like another warm up. I think I did this like late at night, then I woke up the next morning and just did that. I like how this one came out too. It's like a still life sort of deal. It's all in gouache. I really like mostly like the texture in the background. I was kind of like practicing with it and I like the result. This here is the reference photo was taken at work, like where I sit to eat my lunch every day. They have these plants, and I'm not sure what the plant's called, but I just love the leaves. That's like literally the color that it is. And I'm always like, gosh, I wish I could draw it or paint it. And so I finally just did a little page of the leaf that I see at work all the time. And then another pair with the colored pencils. I tried to do like a different like color scheme this time, make it more like neon. There was like a peach in the front, in the foreground here, but I thought it'd be cool just like have the outline, but not like completely colored in. This here, I splattered on India ink for like the wash in the background, and then did like this kind of cliff landscape thing. I wish I had kept the landscape thing maybe more monotone or more simple, like I think I overdid like the water, but I like the idea that I had. So like maybe next time I attempt this, I have a better idea of like how I want to execute it. These two pages here is a combination of a gouache background with brush pen on top. This guy, don't love how he came out. It's all right. But this guy, I really like how much he like stands out. I feel like it really pops. But I was really proud of myself, like with how I did the hair. Never really attempted something like that before, so yeah, I really like it. But man, the brush pen on top of gouache, it likes to transfer, I've learned. All right. This little page is from a photograph of a lake that I went to a couple weeks ago. This is from like a Google search when I was like Googling the lake before I went. Someone posted like a misty morning, winter morning picture of some trees and like screenshotted it, and that's what that painting is. I love how this one came out. Then color pencil pomegranate, which is pen and ink. And Posca markers. It's more of like a playful page than anything. For me, that's what like Posca markers is. It's like more of like playful art as opposed to like, wow, this is like really quality art. They're just fun to use. This is Tombow markers with color pencil on top, which is like a new to me method that I know I by no means invented this, but like I did the Tombow marker first and I was like, this just looks flat and dumb. And I was like, well, maybe if I define it with color pencil, and I was like, oh my God, I love it. And so I did it again here. I feel like it came out better because I got, you know, better at it. So I just, still from this, I'm like obsessed with Tombow markers with color pencils. It's like so fun. I like to block in the colors with the markers first. And then, I don't know if you can tell, but this pear obsession like came on real strong. Some more pears. I like this guy over here. I just feel like he has a lot of character. I like all the colors I used. I had fun putting like the color palette down here. Some more pears, of course. Up here was a gouache study I did like late at night. I remember I don't know if I forgot or I just didn't film it because I was kind of over the filming the process by that point. And then this was the next morning. I did like kind of like a warm up with these pears with the Lamy Safari fountain pen. Super fun. I remember I did this before work one morning. This was Tombow marker with color pencil on top again. Kind of like how like the finger came out. The rest is kind of whatever. Finger. It's like trying to figure out how to do these things with like a limited color palette. I think I got back from work and then did this warm up with lemons this time. The fish. I love this guy. At first I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. But again, I did the Tombow markers with the color pencil on top. And I just love the colors. Like fish have such cool colors if you look closely at them. They're like rainbows. Then pomegranate. Same method of markers and pencils. I think I got this from the idea of like the long shadow cup that I did like way earlier in the sketchbook. Just a cup of coffee. I remember I did this before bed, late at night. It's just kind of loosey-goosey, like watercolor with like tiny little gouache highlights inside the cup there. And then next morning, did some brush pen flowers to warm up. Kind of cute. Here's my other oyster. I am like so proud of this. With this sketchbook like totally helped me, man. I learned how to like layer gouache better and maybe how to blend it a little bit. And I felt so confident when making this. And I think that's like why I love it so much. Like when you found your groove and your flow and you feel like things are like clicking for you. That's what this page felt like for me. But yeah, I love this one. Getting close to the end, guys. Hang on. This page is, it's whatever. It's like some leftover gouache with brush pen on top and then Tombow marker on the bottom here. I try to do this like really loose on purpose so that I can just practice like proportions and anatomy without, you know, thinking too hard, taking it too seriously. Okay. Landscape of some place in England. This one was also fun. I also feel like a couple of things clicked for me in this. It's like one of my first like real landscape paintings with the gouache. I was pretty happy with it. The clouds kind of ruined it for me, but everything else, like I like the grass here and some parts of the trees. Okay, another example of Tombow marker, color pencils again. Got kind of obsessed with it. I mostly like how like the leaves came out. It's really fun, like layering the colors. This ended up being like one of my favorite pages. I just really like how much like the orange pops off the paper here. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, like, I learned to, like, love putting shadows next to things. Like, makes it look more realistic, I feel like. And then here's the Lamy Safari orange. I felt like it was, like, blank over here, so I just, like, added, like, a complementary color to, like, the main drawing. Then the last page, a banana. I remember I was like, to my husband, like, I have one more page left. I have no idea what to draw. He's like, do a banana. And I was like, I'm doing it. I know you're kidding, but I'm doing a banana. So this was with that water-soluble graphite pencil. I think I had just gotten it like not too long before this, so I was excited to use it. Well, that is it for this sketchbook. This big, chunkin', bustin' open, hardly can close sketchbook. I'm so proud of this guy. I hope you enjoyed looking at it and seeing how like my art evolved over about a year of me like constantly doing art and exploring like all these different mediums. I'm currently getting into watercolor like a lot more. I just built like a mega watercolor palette that I'm really excited to show you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, if you don't mind giving it a like, subscribe if you have not already. I am just starting my YouTube channel, but I am so excited to share more, and I would love if you guys stuck around to see what's next. All right, till next time. Bye.